You ever feel like no matter how hard you try to save money, something always comes up? An unexpected bill, a birthday gift you forgot about, or just that random coffee habit that slowly drains your wallet? It's like saving money is supposed to be simple, but somehow it just isn't. Practically speaking, most of us weren't exactly taught how to manage money in a way that sticks. We hear advice like cut back on lattes or make a budget. But even when we try that, it doesn't always lead to long term savings. It ends up feeling more like a chore than a habit. But there's a method from Japan, a centuries old mindset, that flips the whole idea of saving on its head. It's not about being strict or cutting out all the fun. It's about understanding your money in a way that feels natural and even a little enjoyable. And clearly, they're doing something right. In 2022, Japan had a savings rate of 28.8%. Compare that to the US, where the rate hovered around 17% during the same time. That's a pretty big gap. And it's not just about culture or income levels. A lot of it has to do with how they think about money, and more importantly, how they track it. So what's their secret? What are they doing that the rest of us aren't? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video, the ancient Japanese method that's helped generations save money effortlessly. No complicated spreadsheets, no apps, and definitely no guilt tripping. Just a simple shift in how you see and interact with your money. So, what is this ancient Japanese secret we're talking about? It's called Kakeibo, and it's not just a system, it's more like a mindset. In Japan, Kakeibo has been a go-to method for households to manage their finances for over a century. But it's not your usual strict budgeting method where you're constantly stressing over numbers. Kakeibo is all about being mindful with your money. It helps you slow down and actually think about how and why you're spending, instead of just reacting to every little impulse or expense. The word itself, Kakeibo, roughly means household financial ledger. And at its core, that's exactly what it is. It's a simple journal where you write down your income, your spending, and your savings goals. But it's not just about recording numbers. What makes it special is how it encourages reflection. You look back at your habits, see what's working, what's not, and figure out how to improve without guilt or pressure. It was first introduced way back in 1904 by a woman named Hani Motoko. She was actually Japan's first female journalist, and she shared Kakeibo in a women's magazine as a tool to help housewives take control of their household budgets. Pretty empowering, right? Back then, it was all done with pen and paper, but these days, people use everything from physical journals to digital apps. It's grown in a big way because, well, it works. It's not about being perfect with your money, it's about being present with it. And once you start using Kakeibo, saving doesn't feel like struggle anymore. It becomes part of your lifestyle. And this mindful approach, that's exactly the heart of why Kakeibo works so well. Kakeibo isn't just about tracking your spending, it's about understanding why you spend the way you do. And that's something most of us never really pause to think about. The truth is, our relationship with money is deeply emotional. We buy things to reward ourselves, to cope with stress, to feel a sense of control, or something just out of habit. Kakeibo gently encourages you to notice those patterns. It helps you take a step back and ask yourself, do I really need this? Or why am I spending on this right now? The process is broken down into 3 stages, and each one is designed to keep you connected to your money in a deeper, more intentional way. It starts with planning. At the beginning of the month, you look at how much money you have coming in, and then you divide it into basic categories: things you need, things you want, and a little extra set aside for emergencies. It's not about being strict or depriving yourself. It's just about being real with what your priorities are. Then comes the spending phase. This is where you track your daily expenses and assign each one to a category. And this part? It's surprisingly powerful because as you physically write things down or log them, you start to notice which areas are growing faster than others. You might catch yourself spending a lot more on takeout than you thought, or realize how often small purchases add up. That awareness alone can shift your habits even without trying too hard. Finally, there's reflection. At the end of the month, you look back on everything you've spent and saved, and you ask yourself a few simple questions. How did I do? Did I stick to my goals? What surprised me? And most importantly, what does my spending say about what I value? It's not about guilt or shame. It's about learning. The more you do it, the more in tune you get with your money, and that's where the effortless part starts to happen. So, now that you get the idea of how Kakeibo works and why it's so powerful, let's talk about how you can actually start using it in your own life. And don't worry, it's not complicated. In fact, one of the best things about Kakeibo is how low-tech and simple it really is. You don't need any fancy apps or spreadsheets, just a notebook, a pen, and a little quiet time to reflect. That's literally all it takes. The whole idea behind writing things down by hand is to make the process more intentional. When you physically take the time to write something, you slow down. You think more clearly. That's the magic. It's not just budgeting. It's a moment to pause, breathe, and connect with your money. You can even make it a little ritual. Grab a cup of coffee or tea. Sit somewhere calm and just enjoy the process. It's not supposed to feel like a chore. It can actually be pretty relaxing once you get into it. Now, there are specially designed Kakeibo journals out there if you feel like having a structure to follow. Some of them are beautifully made and include helpful prompts and categories. You can find plenty on places like Amazon, but honestly, you can also just grab any notebook and make it your own. Here's how you begin. First, figure out your total income. What's coming in after taxes, after deductions, everything. From that, subtract your fixed, non-negotiable expenses like rent, bills, insurance, that kind of stuff. Whatever's left after that is what you'll be working with. That becomes your budget for savings and everything else. Now, here's a little twist that sets Kakeibo apart from how we normally approach money. Instead of spending first and then seeing what's left to save, Kakeibo flips it. You ask yourself first, how much do I want to save this month? You set that goal up front. Doesn't have to be huge, just something realistic and personal. Like maybe you want to save for a trip, or you just put a little extra towards your emergency fund. The key is to treat saving like a priority, not an afterthought. Once that's done, you'll create a rough budget for your spending. This includes everything from groceries and clothes to gifts and spontaneous little treats. And the best part? You don't need to get it perfect. The goal is just to get a clearer picture of where your money could be going. Kakeibo traditionally breaks your spending into 4 main categories: needs, wants, culture, and unexpected. But you can totally make your own categories if those don't fit your lifestyle. The goal is to make the system work for you, not the other way around. As the month goes on, track your spending. Write down what you bought, how much it cost when you bought it, and what category it falls into. If you're someone who forgets easily or finds daily tracking a bit much, you can do it once a week instead. Just set aside 30 minutes to go over your receipts or check your bank app and log everything in. You could even start keeping a small pouch or wallet for receipts to make it easier to review later. And if you're more of a digital person, using online banking to track your payments works just fine too. Some people also go the cash stuffing route, where they physically divide their money into envelopes for different categories. That gives you a very visual way to see how much you've got left for the month. Whatever method clicks for you, go with that. At the end of the month, it's time to reflect. You'll sit down and review how things went, look at where your money went. Did you stick to your savings goal? Were there any areas where you spent more than expected? Did something surprise you? This part isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about being observing. Maybe you spent more on eating out than you thought. Okay. Is that because you truly enjoy it and it brings value to your life? Or was it just out of convenience? There's no right or wrong. It's just about understanding what matters most to you. And if you didn't hit your savings goal this time, that's okay. It just means you now have the insight to tweak things for next month. Maybe shift some money from one category to another. Maybe adjust your goal to something that fits better with your current lifestyle. That's the beauty of Kakeibo. It evolves with you. And that was the Japanese secret to saving money effortlessly. It's simple, mindful, and honestly, it just makes sense. Kakeibo isn't about cutting out all the fun. It's about getting real with your money and building habits that actually stick. If this video helped you see saving in a new light, give the video a like and maybe share it with someone who needs a little financial peace. And if you decide to try Kakeibo, let me know how it goes in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.